Okay, well, 4 years now, or it's going to be 4 years. Well, during my first month in my small Romanian-speaking village of Păulești, I was given a list of potential projects from the mayor. And so I was reading through these projects, and I remember one project specifically stood out. They wanted to bring back their village library and include a computer center. So at the time, the village had only a school library. The village library closed right after the fall of the Soviet Union. And currently, all the books from this library, primarily in Russian, were kept in the school. So I went to the mayor and I told her, okay, I'm interested in helping you with this project. Now, as you may recall, this was my first month at site. The language was relatively new to me. So this conversation we had was very confusing. In my ears, it was almost like we were both mumbling and giving each other exaggerated hand gestures while we tried to communicate. But out of all said and done, what I got out of the conversation was that I was going to create a survey as the first step for this project. So I wrote the survey in English. I went to my Romanian teacher. She helped me correct it and translate it. And then right after that, I needed to get 10% of the community to fill out this survey. Very hard thing to do, I thought, but it got better. So I started off at the mayor's office, and I went to every worker, and when I got to the accountant, I remember she took my survey, she looked up at me, and she says, "So how many surveys are you getting?" I responded, 150? She then smirked. I don't think so. So right after this, I was thinking to myself, is she right? Can I get this done? But instead of dwelling on it, it actually gave me more motivation. So you know where I went to right after this? The only building with the most people in it, the village school. I met with the school director, started explaining to her about the project, how I wanted the students to fill out the survey as well as the teachers, if the students could bring it back home as a homework assignment so we could get more surveys and so forth. And I remember she looked at me and had this confused look on her face as if thinking, I have no idea what he just said to me. And in fact, she didn't know what I just said to her because she was like, I have Google Translate on my computer. But after she actually understood what I was trying to do, she was a great help. After 1 week alone, we received 150 surveys just from the school and their parents and the teachers. So a few months progressed. My language was improving. I began working closely with the school director and the mayor. We wrote a project proposal for this idea. Now, and so we had to look for potential funders. But as a requirement by most international NGOs, you sometimes have to send them summaries so they can look at your project for approval, and then you can apply. Unfortunately, every summary we sent, they all got back to us stating, unfortunately, at this time, we do not fund computer centers. We are sorry. So we applied for a grant, the same project, we applied for a grant. They said the same thing. Due to unsustainable projects in the past in Moldova with computer centers, we can't fund you at this time. So normally, you'd think to yourself, okay, we tried, let's move on, let's work on a different project. But when we saw the survey results, we knew we couldn't give up on this one. It turned out that 83% of village members did not have internet access at home. 76% didn't even have computers in their house. And if you were 30 years or older, 52% of you had never used a computer before. So we rethought everything we had started. We discussed, okay, funders will give computer equipment if you can prove why you need the equipment in order for the project to be successful, then it hit us. Why not have this project idea around e-governance? Now, at the time, there was no village website, and the mayor's office, the public and private institutions, all put out their information through information boards on the street. That was it. So we kept this conversation going. What if we interconnected every public and private institution to one website where they edit and update specific sections there? Then the community could get all their village information on one website alone. See, we were coming up with something. And to do this, we would connect the village to this website by having computers in the village library. Now, one of the big issues is where we had to figure out something that would be sustainable, where this library would be funded for years to come. So that was when the idea of movies came into play. The simple idea of doing a movie fundraiser had to start the Paula Cinema, where we constructed a 308-inch screen out of recycled material, and we had an HD projector that fit the whole screen. And you know what? The same funder that rejected our proposal in the beginning ended up funding this idea. And as a result, we constructed a place for the library. We added a toy section, we added 500 new books, 6 new computers, after-school programs and computer trainings. Each computer had Skype access with headset and microphone so they could call loved ones abroad. Every department and organization had access to the website on the home page in which they could edit and update their sections through the use of the Google Sites tool. At the cinema, we charged 5 lei per person, and 80% of the funds from the cinema has now gone to the library, while 20% have stayed with the cinema to maintain and replace the equipment. We were even recognized by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Global Libraries Program here in Moldova, known as Novateka, as a case study on how to create a successful project with computers. Now, the lesson I learned really was that anything was possible. To never give up on anything, even when everyone around you told you it couldn't be done. We never gave up on this issue. And we used focus, resilience, hard work, and we found a way. And by far my experience here in Peace Corps and Moldova has been a great influence in my life and has actually shaped me to the type of person I want to be. So Peace Corps Moldova, I tip my hat to you. Thank you very much.